What's up, you guys? My name is O'Shea Johnson. I'm a spiritual advisor turned business leader, strategist, or coach, however you want to look at it. So let's get into the nature of. Wow, I didn't know. Wow, those glasses are they're really pushing on me. I need new glasses. So let's get in the nature of today's video, which is going to be how to spiritually create a business, looking at business more from the spiritual side of things, just like great entrepreneurs who came before us, whether it be Napoleon Hill, as well. I forgot his name, but the creator of the master key system. It's these people that knew these concepts, right? Spiritual laws, universe, vibration, things of this nature. Now, when you're building a business, people don't always look at it in this way, but in my opinion, I believe that this is how the 1% develop and build businesses is first creating in terms of energy, frequency, holding and harnessing the vision, and then from that vision, then taking the steps and the actions to create it in the physicality. We can look at this in a very similar sense that Nikola Tesla, right? Tesla would first imagine what he was going to create. He would actually fully envision it and see every dimension with all aspects of his invention before ever actually physically creating it. And then he'd put pen to paper and then he would start going about the physical process. I think it's the same way with a business, that first we hold the vision. What do I wish to achieve? Do I wish to be a CEO, an entrepreneur with multiple businesses, or do I just want to have one business? And you, as Neville Goddard speaks on, you hold the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and then you live at the end in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So before even going about business or the entrepreneurial journey, first I recommend having the vision, imagining it fully, throwing yourself into this vision. What is it like? What kind of car do you want to have? Do you want to live in a mansion? Do you want to travel? Because the more that you think about these things on why you're doing it, the more that this is actually going to give you a sense of purpose within going about the entrepreneurial journey, and holding and harnessing the vision. And this purpose is going to be your motivation. It's going to be what's pushing you forward. So as you have the vision, then start to look at the aspects of, what does this business entail? What do I want to actually do in terms of a service? Because truly at the end of the day, if you wish to make money or build business, all you really need to know is the service in which you're going to provide to in form of a solution to someone's problem. That's how millionaires are created, that's how billionaires are created. They merely have a solution to someone's problem. For myself, my business originally, and not even trying to be a business, was spiritual advising. I just started to I woke up spiritually for myself, went through a near death experience at 18, then started to wake up spiritually, started to meditate, started to just download all of this gnosis, understanding universal law, frequency, vibration, all is mind, universe is mental, all these things, right? And as I woke up and started to share my own experiences on that of YouTube, I became a YouTuber, right? And then people started to come to me and wanted to have, and pretty much asking me for advice, and how did I overcome depression? How did I, start to manifest? What was my form of spirituality? How did I end my suffering? And it's from this I became a spiritual advisor as well as a guide in the manifestation realm. So I taught people spirituality, how to manifest, things of this nature. Then it's at some point that God called me to, so I made a business out of that, in a sense, not really even trying. Then at some point, one second, there's a plane. Then at some point, God called me to the business sphere. He called me to be a business leader. So instead of just teaching, normal people, most people, spirituality and how to manifest, I started to look into, who are people that really need to rid their suffering, that need to manifest, that in a sense have the power or the wealth to do it. Business owners, right? And this video is going to be for anybody that has a business already, but also anybody that wishes to start a business. So it's in that same way that I went into business. I started understanding sales, marketing, in a sense, all the skills needed to develop and create a business. I went into specifically for myself, starting a new business on top of spiritual advising for me was copywriting, understanding advertisement, marketing, and things of this nature. That also evolved into e commerce, wholesale real estate, and day trading.